Welcome to the Beautiful Game, episode 100. As always, I am Blake here with Ferris.
Hola.
And Ron.
What's happening?
Boom! Episode 100. Y'all!
100.
Man.
We haven't killed each other in 100 episodes.
Nope.
Not yet.
We have had some good arguments.
Yes, we have.
Yeah, we've had plenty of those, but that's half the fun of it, right?
Yeah.
If we agreed on everything, it's going to be a boring-ass podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Luckily, Ferris is wrong a lot. So
I
we
know, right?
disagree a lot.
Hey, man, I want to start this bleep session off real nice here.
45 seconds in.
45 seconds in, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a podcast record.
I don't think, well, maybe.
I think it is.
Yeah, it could be.
I don't think we have.
I don't know. I think the last time we were going to test a what's that brewery? Butternut Brewery. Yeah, that might have been a bad one. That might have started out early. That was definitely the most bleeped episode because we were so angry at that beer.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous.
By far.
So for this 100th episode, coming back from our very first episode, we'll see if Jurgen Klopp knocks on the door again.
Right.
Jurgen Klinsmann showed up in the first episode.
That's right. He did.
We had to tell him to leave. But we're going to talk a little Premier. We got Premier League. We got MLS. We also have the NWSL Championship that just wrapped up.
Yep.
And as Ferris pointed out in our previous episode, we erroneously were like, that's a weird schedule that they've got the games so close together. Not realizing they had rescheduled the one set in North Carolina due to Hurricane Florence.
Right.
So
made perfect sense. Apologies. Sent something out on
we screwed something up. Shock.
Yeah. We screw stuff up a lot.
Yeah,
in case you don't know, we don't have statisticians. We don't have some producer in the background feeding us information. It's just three dudes sitting in a studio, a makeshift studio at that. And we just drink beer and we talk soccer and whatever comes to our mind. Yeah, we have a couple of laptops and that sort of thing that we try to rapidly search throughout the pod. But, you know.
It's nice. So after 100 episodes, we've slowly collected like better equipment.
Yep.
More scarves.
A lot more scarves.
I don't know if we've gotten any smarter, but we do. We have scarves from all over the world. We got like German national team in here from Berlin. We got Japanese Premier League teams as well as the National League. Japanese Premiership. What's it called?
J League.
J League. And then we got Japanese national team. Of course, there's that Man United scarf over there with Ferris.
Stinking up the place.
Glory, Man United.
As well as everything. I'm going to draw the line and ask you to stop that right now. That was
what?
Me saying you guys drew this week. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Terrible.
But first,
Terrible.
I'm not sure which one's worse, mine or yours.
I had 100 episodes of bad dad jokes. There you go.
Start us off with one. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead. I'm giving you free reign right now.
Going to the dad jokes book gifted by Ron. We let this thing go to one. Oh, no. Gosh, what's crazy is like whenever I random stop, it's ones we definitely do. Right here, or we have done before. What did the dad say when he was told he would have trouble growing bananas because of the climate? I want to grow it, not climb it. That was number 48 on the
Terrible. Why did I open the door to that?
I don't know. But hey, did you guys know there's a new pirate movie coming out?
Oh, no.
It's rated R.
Oh, God.
There it is.
Oh, wow. There we go.
That's a better dad joke than bananas and climbing. And then, no, I'd rather climb it than... But what the hell was it?
And then 4 minutes into the episode, everyone's cut us off. We're doing this 100th just for us.
There's a shocker.
So you got the beer. Actually, we all got the beer for this 100th episode. We're going to do something dumb.
3 beers.
Do 3 different beers. I only say dumb because every now and then we do that. It gets weird.
You know what? Mine is consistent in the respect that it is a high percentage beer.
Oh, good. That's the one we're going to end on. Yep. All right. So, Ferris, you and I have a similar theme going with our 2 beers. So you're going to do yours first because it's a brand new brewery. We never had it, correct?
It's the new one that we haven't had. I don't think it's a brand new brewery, but it's just one.
Oh, sorry, but a brewery we have yet to have on the show.
New to us.
Yeah. Take it away.
All right. Well, new brewery to us. And I'll tell you their about section on their website starts with greetings from beautiful, Colorado.
Did they say beautiful? I'm sorry.
No. I said that because I'm just used to saying that. But greetings from beautiful Colorado.
It better not be Coors.
It is. Yeah. It is. Molson Coors and Company are introduced. No, it is lefthandbrewing.com.
What's nuts is we've never done them.
We haven't. I had to specifically, and Ron, thank you for keeping the beer blog updated on our site.
Yeah.
Because I was sitting in Total Wine today and had the phone up against this like actually stack of Bud Light carton that were all, and I had it up there, and I'm looking at the craft beer seasonal section. I'm having to go through the phone to make sure we haven't had this brewery before, because I want to try something that we haven't had.
Because their most famous is their Left Hand Brewery Milk Stout.
Yeah.
That's like the one that you see a lot of places. Yeah.
But lefthandbrewing.com, living here in our great state requires great balance. There is just simply too much to do. Soak in every 300 days of sunshine a year. Catch a show at Red Rocks. Climb at the top of 14,255 long peaks. Catch an Avs or Rockies games. Drop into some fresh powder at a basin. Tee up on the first hole at Haystack Mountain. Fly fish the South Platte. With so many choices, how does one manage? We sum it all up in one word: balance. And that's kind of their about section. That's from the crew at Left Hand Brewing. Goes on and kind of tells you a little bit about some of their philosophies and stuff. But kind of a sleek site here. Like I said, it was lefthandbrewing.com. And the beer that we are specifically going to have, as we are in that time of year, is going to be there.
Anticipation's killing me. Come on, Mary Poppins, get that out of your bag.
God, I love that movie.
Of course you do.
The Oktoberfest Martisan Lager.
I have never even seen Left Hands in cans
either
before.
I haven't either. So let me pass this over to you.
That's awesome.
It's a cool logo on there.
Yeah, it's a cool can. It has that blue and white checkered pattern that is so famously,
that Bavarian
with,
emblazoned across everything.
All right, there's
man. The can is sweet looking. I love it. Is that a tiger or a what is the animal that's on this? Employee owned, righteously independent.
That's awesome.
So that's New Belgium. It's the other big one that's also employee owned.
So, all right, their Oktoberfest Martisan Lager. Tasty malt flavors dominate up front, and noble hops lead to a spicy and superbly clean.
Superbly, you mean?
Superbly. So is that what? Sorry, I'm trying. I had to open up. there.
I like. I'm Superbly.
I had to open up their page on my lap because it was. I had it in like a little section, so the picture was over the words, and I just opened it up. So, thank you, Blake.
Oh, that was
clean locker finish.
Superbly.
I opened it up real quick.
That just made my night.
Anyway,
that was brilliant.
Again, we haven't gotten any smarter in 100 episodes.
We're consistent.
This is no Festivus for the rest of us. On the contrary, we start brewing in the spring, and it takes a full 2 months to reach lagered perfection. Malty goodness dominates up front, while the noble pedigree hops lend a properly spicy, dry finish. Zicky zack, hoy, hoy, hoy. Time to roast your chicken and upend your stein before the air gets crisp, the leaves flame and fall, and the skies fade to black. And there's a German word for that I cannot pronounce.
And Oktoberfest has just started, or is about to because I have some friends that just went out to Germany to go do that, and I'm supremely jealous.
Yep.
So this is a traditional Marzen lager.
Mm-hmm.
Love the ingredients: Rocky Mountain water, malted barley, hops, and yeast.
We're 2 days in, by the way.
2 days in Oktoberfest.
2 days in. 6.6 on the ABV, and comes in either a keg or a 6-pack of cans. Obviously, we don't get kegs down here, as far as I know. So we got the cans, and malts are Munich and Pilsner. Hops are CTZ and Hallertau Mittelfrucht. Did I say that one right?
Hallertau.
Hallertau.
Yeah, I know. It's a hop. Yeah.
So, kind of cool. I'm excited to try this because this is one we have not had this brewery before, nor I don't think any of us have had this Oktoberfest before.
I got my dimpled Oktoberfest German mug ready to roll. Here we go.
Superply.
Ooh, smells good.
Ooh, that does smell clean.
It's that Rocky Mountain water, man. Rocky Mountain High. Ooh, yeah. Oh, this man.
Man, what a Superbly pour.
Amazing. It's also got some good head retention.
Oh, that's a really cool can
color.
there.
The color is perfect.
Yeah, it is.
That perfect, that amber look of a Marzen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's that sticky, sweet smell. Oh, yeah. I'm excited about this. And you got a 6-pack.
I did. I get a 6-pack, but I don't know if we'll be able to finish the 6-pack because we got some other beers we may have on the pod tonight.
Perfect. All right, gents. Prost.
Prost.
Here we go. Let's try this bad boy. Oh, that's a dangerous one. That's one you can put in one of those liter mugs and just go to town, man.
Yeah.
Holy crap, that's good.
That's good.
Oh, man, that's good. That's good. That's good.
A little bitter at the end on the finish, just a little bit.
You pick more of the hop than you normally do. So, like, we played around a little bit last year with some Oktoberfest.
We had a Big Storm one last year.
Because there's the Marzen variety, which is like this, and then there's kind of more the Feist beer, which is more of like a real crisp lager. It's got that strawgrass kind of vibe. I forget which one we tried last year off the top of my head. And I know we did the one.
We did a Big Storm one from what I could tell.
But I'm always excited to roll around to the Oktoberfest. I mean, I'm terrible for this. Once the Oktoberfest beers start rolling into the grocery store, every time I go to the grocery store, I pick a 6-pack of a different one because I want to try them all. Mm-hmm. And there've been a couple of American breweries that I've tried recently that are really good too. So I might try to get those in on the show as well. Not as well as this is an American brewery. Oh, man, tasty. All right, gents. Episode 100.
100.
So we are going to first talk about week 6 of the Premier League.
We are. Every headline for all the games in both Premier League and MLS have key Oktoberfest words in them that from multiple sites on the old interwebs says that you should know if you are going to Oktoberfest. So you will.
So you're going to give us an education with these headlines.
I'm going to attempt to. Yes. I can't pronounce half of them. No, I can't. But there is a word or a saying, I guess, if you will, of some key words.
Listen, as this Irish boy teaches you some German words poorly.
Poorly, yeah. No, that's why Mr. Blake will be doing a majority of the headlines.
No, I can't do German words. All right, well,
just sound angry all the time. You'll be all right.
So first one up, we're going to talk about. We're all big fans of Bournemouth, but. Yeah, it was nice to see Burnley get their only 3 points that they, or the only win they have had at this point, because they sit now 4 points. Burnley does,
and they
with a solid win against Bournemouth,
right, and actually gets them weirdly out of the relegation zones because the couple teams behind them only have a few draws. But yeah, good win and good to get them off the mark. Good to see Ashley Barnes get off the mark. Aaron Little. And then gets a goal in here. You're probably wondering, wait, he's at Burnley now? Yes, he's at Burnley now. He gets a goal. But a very good win for Burnley because they needed it because they have not had a whole lot of good so far this year. They've lost
their last 4.
Their last 4.
Aside from this
right, they got knocked out in like the pre-qualifications for the Europa League. So they really haven't had a lot of positives so far this year. So
what's our total? Very good. 32 weeks? Is it 32 match days?
36.
36. Right. So not that they didn't have a lot left, but man, they were looking like they were just going to smoke straight down to the bottom and never come up.
Bournemouth a good win because at the time I believe Bournemouth was in the top 6 for sure.
Well, and Ron even said that the match Chelsea had against Bournemouth was one of the harder matches they had lined up. Bournemouth's been playing well.
Yeah.
So this was shocking. I just assumed Bournemouth was this is gonna be an easy 3 points for them. Who they are sitting at 10 points, currently in 8th place. With this win, Burnley gets up to 16th point. So Dave Fishwick, is that still on the stadium? I
haven't seen it.
I have to check, see if he's still a sponsor over there, his mini buses or minivans, whatever, his rental service.
Fishwick.
I don't know.
We'll read your headline.
Oh, God almighty. Osfadas! Burnley finally tapped their season as the goals flow in.
So I'm going to guess Ozaftis is like tap the keg?
It basically means...
but we're saying it really wrong.
Yeah, we're saying it very wrong.
Ozapftis.
Right. And what that basically means is it's tapped in. Or it's the tap has...
the keg is tapped?
The keg is tapped. They've started, essentially. So it's tapped is what it translates to.
Where this really helps them out,
Bavarian expression.
Is they does knock them from a -7 goal differential to -3. That's huge. I mean, that's a lot of goals to knock in real quick at the beginning of the season when you have been struggling, and especially against a team that's very capable.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, so Bournemouth with a lot of attacking power, so that they didn't even give up a goal in this. Very good, and if they can pick up these type of games and these type of points at home, I think that's what they did a lot last year, and that's what's going to kind of keep them. They're not going to do as well as they did last year, I don't think. They're not going to get in that 7th spot again. But if they can get in the top 10, that's a very successful year for them. So it's good they got off the mark with Bournemouth and got off the mark a little bit late with 6 games in, but still they needed something to turn around, and this is definitely a positive. That Oktoberfest saying is a Bavarian expression, and on noon on the first day of Oktoberfest, the mayor of Munich traditionally taps the first keg of beer, exclaiming the above phrase, which marks the official opening of the festival.
I'd run for mayor just for that.
I know, right?
Could you imagine? I want to be the Bürgermeister von Meisterburger.
Name!
Anybody reference to the weird Santa Claus?
Yeah.
Stop animation by Rankin and Bass, right? Rankin and Bass?
Yeah.
They're one of the ones. Yeah, they did Rudolph, a dentist.
Dentist?
Yeah. The Bürgermeister von Meisterburger.
That one.
Wait, someone's talking on your computer, Ferris.
What the hell did I do?
I don't know, but you've opened a web page that's talking to us.
Right,
why are they trying to sell us enlargement pills? What are you?
No, I'm watching. For all you that don't know, I'm from the Tampa Bay area, so I'm a big Tampa Bay Bucks fan, Rays fan, Lightning fan. The Bucks are playing currently right now on Monday Night Football, so I have the game up as we pod as well. So
yes, you got 2 brains, one dedicated to football, right. One dedicated to American football.
And fun fact here: the owners of Manchester United also own
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Which is partly why I became a fan of Manchester United. Large part. So the Glazers.
Because you're from the area.
Correct.
But just in general, I mean, great for Burnley.
Absolutely.
I don't want to see those guys go away. And I was kind of scared that's what was going to happen.
They need to keep it up.
They keep it up. I tell you what helps is teams like Cardiff. Because I just don't know. I don't know. They have to make a lot of changes in January.
They're playing Cardiff next.
Yeah. So, okay.
I guess that'll be telling, won't it?
I went to type in, is Dave Fishwick still a sponsor for Burnley? And it auto-corrects to, is Dave Fishwick married? Is what?
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, that's because, isn't he always showing pictures of...
Yeah, me and the wife getting the fish and chips with the dog they've got. Jack Russell.
Are they?
See, how do I know that? Yeah, he's Jack Russell. Yeah, he would always share that stuff. Man, this beer is so good. I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm like halfway done with it. It's freaking delicious.
I mean, there's more in here.
All right.
It's a marathon.
I just haven't even noticed. It's just so friggin' tasty. So next match. Oh, this is just a great match. Beautiful. I loved every second of it. Manchester United.
Hold on. I'm so sorry. Before we go on.
He's just trying to distract you.
He doesn't want to talk about
it. Yeah. Bank of Dave star Dave Fishwick pulls sponsorship of cricket field stand at Turfmoor. It says he will buy shares in Burnley. And that was as of last August.
Oh, so he bought shares in Burnley,
right?
Yeah. And he pulled his advertising.
To support, but pulled his advertising.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. So over to Manchester United at home, the Wolverhampton Wolves still one of. I think I got to get a kit. I think I love that orange with the wolf. That's such a cool look.
I saw a family walking around in the park the other day with the ones they were wearing, and this one, the white ones. Those are sleek looking, man. Those are really cool.
And the Wolves manage visiting Old Trafford to
sneak one past.
Yeah, man, get a point. That's a huge point for them.
Yeah, and they've started off very, very well.
The Wolves definitely kicked this season off clear that they intend to stay in the Premier League. They are not going to be a one and done. They look like they belong.
Yeah, and both goals in this game were very lovely outside of the box goals. Fred gets his first goal for Manchester United in the 18th minute, and Manchester United should have been up 2 or 3-0 in that first half. They had their opportunities. They played very well. David De Gea had to make a few saves in the first half, yes, but United looked like the United that they needed to be in the first half. They needed to bury 1 or 2 more to kind of put Wolves away before they went into half. Didn't get that done. Came back to bite them in the second half. And a lovely outside of the box goal by João Moutinho, who is one of their summer signings, signed from Monaco in the summer. Very lovely goal, and United could not break them down the rest of the game.
What's crazy is, because we talked about this at the beginning of the season, or right before the season started, they're such a new team of people. To be clicking,
they've turned over so much.
Turned over a lot.
To be clicking as quick as they are is really impressive.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I'm going to try to read your headline here.
Their forwards have been really good, especially Costa. He's been really creating, especially the last couple games. I think their last 2 to 3 games, he's really seemed to have found a stride where he's making smart runs and giving the back line a lot more than you would expect him. And that it's been working out nicely for them. Hopefully their midfield can kind of step up the pace. I also think that their fitness is a little, especially in the midfield, a lot of their box-to-box players are, I mean, you would expect that they're, because they're box-to-box players, they're, going to get tired more. But they really seem to tire out quick. So hopefully they can fix that, especially in the midfield. Because they have, if I'm not mistaken, aren't all 3 of their midfielders Portuguese?
They do have a lot of Portuguese and Brazilian players. Ruben Neves, Joel Matinho, Johnny, I think Johnny's Spanish. Raul Jimenez, Diego Jota. Yeah, I believe he's Portuguese. So they have a lot of Spanish and Portuguese players in this lineup, which is kind of smart. The styles tend to mix very, very, very well.
Yeah,
and it's easy to adapt, opposed to a say if you brought these type of players into a Burnley, it wouldn't really match that well with that team, because you have a lot of English, hard tackling, long balls, slow build up play. Where they get the ball moving, they get the passes going very, very well, and they're starting to find those channels and connect, and they're starting to take chances. And that's kind of what they've done all year. They've taken chances outside the box, which, hey, if you don't put the ball on goal, you don't have a chance at scoring.
Yeah, but their midfield clicks pretty well since they're all Portuguese.
I did see. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just reiterating that they need to get their fitness up.
I did see some. There was a lot of Arsenal chatter from the Arsenal Twitter side of things during this match, saying if you're an Arsenal fan, you love this match because Alexis Sanchez looks lost and doesn't feel like somebody that we wish was still on the team at all.
Yeah,
I think we were saying this earlier. He's just his identity in the team is just in limbo.
Yeah, I'm
not sure there wasn't a club he couldn't have gone to that
Mourinho plays.
Yeah, it's not.
It just doesn't suit him, and it's not from a lack of effort, because he runs around a lot.
If he's gone into like a Liverpool or something, maybe that would have been it's more attacking, it's more free flowing. But if you also kind of forget that he at times at Arsenal played a lot of that false 9 role, where he was kind of the man up front. Yeah, you had Giroud come in every now and again, and you had Danny Welbeck, but he played a lot of that false 9 for a large while. And we have a number 9 in Lukaku, and they really haven't gelled too well together. They've had a couple times here and there, but I don't know what it is that's just going to have to get. I don't know. Mourinho has to find a way to get the best out of this guy, because he is one of the best in the world. And he's had a break now in the summer with no international play. And he has every potential skill set, desire, passion to play. It's just Mourinho needs to tap into that and find a way to get that out of him. Because he's been very non-existent.
Yeah.
Yeah. All season.
Yeah. I'm going to try to do your headline here.
Good luck
for the next Oktoberfest one. I've looked it up. Ooh, here's the headline. Not quite the Gemütlichkeit.
Lovely.
Old Trafford hoped on Sir Alex's return to stands. Let's see how close I was. See if I can play it. Gemütlichkeit, which means
so it doesn't have a direct English translation. It is a heady mix of coziness, cheerfulness, friendliness, and social acceptance. The feeling encompasses the atmosphere of a successful Oktoberfest. After a mass or two, you will feel it too as you clink glasses with a table full of new friends.
You've done well. I dig this little thing that you've done.
I try to do something a little, for a
good job.
But anyway, so the highlight kind of refers to this was Sir Alex suffered a was it a brain hemorrhage? The later
yes.
part of last year, and he was hospitalized in very serious state, and anyways, he recovered very well. And this was his first game that he could make it to a stadium since recovering from that. And it was lovely to see him in the stands. The players enjoyed seeing him. Just too bad, and just didn't get the 3 points. But I guess Sir Alex has seen that a lot over the last 3 years since he's left. Us not getting 3 points. Yeah, a lot of draws and a lot of losses.
So this leaves Manchester United with 10 points, with a 0 goal differential in 7th place.
Yeah, we actually moved up from last week, courtesy of the Bournemouth loss. We moved above them via goal difference.
Yeah, they have a -1
because they had 4 against them. So
and the Wolves have 9 points.
Yeah, it's it's still early doors here. We're 6 games in. We got 30 more to go. So we'll see. And Champions League started this past week, and United, while they played Young Boys, which is probably the easiest match we'll play in the group, they did win 3-0. Pogba looked very good. Pogba looked good in this game as well. For Fred's goal, Pogba had a sublime little touch to set up Fred for this goal. So he's really playing well right now. The rest of the team just needs to around him. Not necessarily Lukaku because he gets in those right spots, but Alexis, Martial, Lingard, some of these other players that play around Pogba and Lukaku need to get in the mix a little bit more.
And I think they need to be a little more creative. In this match, they did not really stretch the back line.
Because they have the folks to be creative. Sanchez, we were just talking about, like, you got the folks to be creative.
We have the personnel, but that's not necessarily Jose's style of play. He's very defensively strong, which our defense is, but anyway, we counterattack, or we should be able to counterattack with pace, with force, and with precision. And we haven't been as lethal on that counter attack over the past few years as we probably should have been.
So this moves us to our next match. Ron can take this one. He gets the easy German word. Yeah.
Hey, Ron.
Wake up. The West Ham Chelsea match is over. You can wake up.
Is it over?
That's pretty much.
This match was it was okay to start. I really think the player of the entire match was Fabianski, which is West Ham's goalkeeper. He had a couple of phenomenal saves, and that's about it in this match. We really should have buried a couple of chances. Ross Barkley had a great chance at the end and just couldn't bury it.
And I think this points out further West Ham's trouble. I know you're playing a big team against Chelsea, so this is a big point. But man, this is a chance to get 3.
Yeah.
When a team like Chelsea comes in and is playing you this way, you got a chance to try and go for it and get the W.
It was just neither team could really, aside from a few good shots on goal, there was just not a whole lot going on in this. Chelsea looked tired. West Ham, I feel like they're getting better, especially Aronautovic and
Yarmolenko.
Thank you, Yarmolenko. Those guys are really starting to click, and especially in West Ham's last match, in which they won against Everton 3-1.
You're missing Pedro in this match too, right? I don't believe he played.
I thought he came in.
I don't think he did, only because I think he was my fantasy team and got 0 points, and he didn't play, so he got moved to my bench because I didn't realize he wasn't playing. But I don't think you guys had Pedro. At least
I'm not sure, to be honest. I didn't catch a lot of. No,
you're right. We did not. I really thought he did, but it was some.
He had a little leg injury. He had something bothering him that he just kept out. Nothing serious, but like a knock.
Yeah. We did okay, and there's really not much more to say about it.
It's still a big point for West Ham.
It's a great point for West Ham, and we should not have dropped the 2.
They have just outside of relegation at 4 points. That's insane.
Yeah,
West Ham has no business with 4 points at 6 games in.
They're starting to play a little bit better though.
They went from dead to like snoozing. So yeah.
Well, their first 3 were all losses. Then they won against Everton, and now to be honest, a win against Everton, 3-1, and a draw at home against Chelsea, although Chelsea not being wasn't firing on all cylinders, if you will. It's still good momentum for them to have drawn them at home. So I think you're going to slowly start seeing West Ham creep up the table a bit. I still don't think they're going to break the top 10 or anything.
No.
I do think you're going to find them by the end of the season in 12th or 13th, maybe 11th.
You got to do your headline.
Oh, right. Sorry. I was looking at the table.
You get an easy one.
Both London clubs failed to convert any der Schnaps.
That's great.
It just means shots.
Yeah. If you don't know that.
Right, but it was one of the keywords that you should probably know if you go over to.
If you go to, did I bring this up in one of the pods that I went to the Hofbrau House in St. Pete?
Yes.
Yeah, you should go there because if you get the German shot, they spank your butt with a paddle. It's a whole thing. I guess all the shots are German there, but just so you know, you get a smack and a shot. In case you're interested.
That's kind of awesome. I don't know why.
So that leaves Chelsea in third on 16 points. Manchester City creeps up also on 16 points, but they're in second because of goal differential because they completely annihilated 5-1 or 6-1, something like that.
Oh, it was. Yeah, hold on, I got it right here. Yeah, where Manchester played Cardiff and won 5-0.
Yeah.
It was just ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, and I know that Man City is great. Cardiff, boy, they just feel like they're going down in flames. Actually, a lot of goals actually scored this week in general in all the matches. Which I guess that rolls us over to the next one with Arsenal versus Everton. Home match. Arsenal ends up winning 2-0 over Everton. Didn't play a great first half. The defensive backline of Arsenal still just Swiss cheese. However, Petr Cech played like it was 8 years ago, and he was great. And Everton easily would have drawn this game or maybe won. Gesundheit. It's Oktoberfest.
Oh, Gesundheit.
Yeah.
Just pulled a muscle in my neck. How old am I?
Yeah, that's you. Yeah. You know, you get old when you're like, I sneeze and I threw my back out.
Yeah. Ow. Hey, after 100 episodes, you get a little old doing this thing. So
it's 100 to do to you. But no, Arsenal, their back line still just Swiss cheese. But Petr Cech was on fire. He had a great game.
Arsenal should have been down at least 2-0 in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Calvert-Lewin had a couple brilliant chances and just failed to convert. If he converts, Arsenal, it's going to be a different story because Everton, I believe, were the better team in the first half.
Yeah, and you know, for Arsenal, the correct 2 people scored in this match.
Yeah.
Lacazette, and then 3 minutes later, Aubameyang.
And offsides Aubameyang.
And that's the headline. The Gunners, Prost to the dynamic duo. Obviously, Prost. Cheers. Yes, offsides. If someone came in, we have a fan or Everton fan at work. So I was ragging on her when I got to work. She was like, "Yeah, well, the second one was offsides." I was like, "If Manchester United can do it, we can do it."
And
so, well, you can go up to her, and we know what her last name is, but you can go up and say, "Kara Prost." It's close. Hopefully, I don't think she'll Prost to the dynamic duo of Arsenal.
Probably not. But also Aaron Ramsey, 2 assists, bang, bang, back to back on that when Arsenal woke up. So that was good. They had the lion's
Ramsey looked great that second half. Yeah.
They had the lion's share of the possession at 62.5%. They did well when they woke up.
From an Everton side of things, I don't think you can be too upset with this game. I say that hesitantly because I'm not an Everton fan, so I'm not quite sure how you might be feeling at the current moment. But Richarlison was back, and you guys definitely looked more attacking, more fluid in the last third of the pitch. You just didn't convert the chances. you convert those chances, it's a different game. They had the opportunities. They were there to put this game 2 or 3-0, in the first half, and they just didn't convert. I think I think they have a pretty solid team from top to bottom. The back line, Keane hasn't looked the same since he left Burnley. Kurt Zuma.
Oh man, that moment of sportsmanship though. Petr Cech went to punch the ball out, and it rubbed against the head of Keane, and just obviously, if you know Petr Cech's history, he wears a helmet because he got his skull cracked on the side of the goalpost years ago. His reaction as soon as they hit the ground, the way he went over to he looked white as a ghost because he realized he'd hit him across the head and kind of started to peel the wrap he had around his head off. And you're just I can't imagine in Petr Cech's case, let alone Keane, that happened to you where your brain swelled and your skull cracked and you're like, I'm still here doing this as these balls and body parts are swinging in my face at 100 miles an hour. Phrasing.
That's what she said.
But yeah, you could tell it freaked out Petr Cech real quick.
But I don't know. It's going to be. I think Everton get back to that the 6th, 7th, 8th range this year, where they were last year. But I think the play and how the fans are really wanting Everton to play, I think you're starting to see that, and you started to see that in a couple of the early games with Charleston in the lineup. If he's not in the lineup, I think this team's going to struggle.
Yeah. Coming back from kind of a messy first half and winning, I think this is just all good confidence building for Arsenal with change of manager. I just think the more, we talked about it the previous week. They had another kind of an ugly win. I don't know if I'd call this one as an ugly win. It just was a bad first half, better second half. But you just need that stuff. You need that and for the team to come together.
And was this 4 in a row in the league? Yeah. 5 in a row with champions
with the Europa League, which they won 4-2, I believe. That was
Sounds about right.
Yeah, it was a really good match for them in the Champions League as well. So they're on a good run right now. Right. Now because of their defense, they're infinitely beatable as we start looking at teams higher up the table. But I think this all bodes well. If Arsenal, and this sounds crazy to say, but if Arsenal can stay in the top 6, but you see a change in play, you start to see some more fun to it, confidence in the players, I think the fans will be happy. I don't think you're gonna have anybody freaking out for Emery to be out. No planes will be flying overhead.
No, you guys are playing well enough.
And right now, if you could just make the goal, we want to end above Tottenham, and I think that's kind of doable right now because Tottenham, good but beatable this go round. So, I know we were doing these 4 matches, but I do think we should do 5th because it's silly to do Oktoberfest and not talk about our favorite German, Jurgen Klopp.
Jurgen!
And the reason I bring it up is it's just Southampton. Oh, that was horrible the way I said that. But Liverpool playing Southampton, they win 3-0. But the big deal was Mohamed Salah broke his goal drought for the Premier League this year.
And it's the first time Liverpool start this bright in their...
Yeah, they're 8.
It's their best finish since 90, 4, 5, 6.
18 points after 6 games, 12 goal differential. They're doing really good.
Yes,
they are. Nice, Clark.
Yeah, they have Chelsea twice coming up.
Yeah, they have a really tough run coming up. If memory serves, they have Chelsea twice, right? Because they have them in the League Cup, and then they have them in the Premier League, which is the 12:30 game this next week.
What's the Chupacabra Cup called this year?
It's the Chupacabra Cup.
is the Cabrero Cup again? Or what?
What was it?
Is it the energy
Caribou,
drink?
Right?
Caribou, yeah.
Energy drink. Yeah, energy drink from Thailand.
Well, the fixtures for the Premier League is they play Chelsea, then Manchester City, then Huddersfield, Cardiff, and Arsenal. That's their next 5 in the Premier League.
Right. And with their next their next 4 games are at least is both the Chelsea games, and they play Napoli in the Champions League. Napoli's no mugs, and then you have Man City.
It's 4-game stretch right there. Yeah.
That's a pretty tough 4-game stretch. So.
Yeah. And, you're really going to see what they're made out of this one. Yeah.
Right, because they really haven't played to date.
Although what's scary...
Anybody too good?
They played Southampton, Tottenham, Leicester, Brighton Hove, and Crystal Palace.
I will say this though, what is frightening?
But they did. I'm sorry, Blake, but they did come back and beat PSG midweek in the Champions League, which was awesome. Which was a very good win for them. And PSG is a lot of people's picks to win the entire.
Yeah, that was an awesome match. What's scary is that they have a 12 goal differential, and Mohamed Salah finally just scored.
Yeah,
I mean Mane has been doing great. Yeah. But
Firmino's help picked up a little slack.
Yeah, that's frightening though for other clubs that finally, they still have, Man City's got the highest goal differential at 16, but still
and that's really because they just put 5 past.
Cardiff wasn't there; they didn't show up. Boom. So that's kind of our look at the Premier League. So this moves us over to maybe a little MLS talk.
Do we want to do another beer before we go to MLS?
That's what I was just thinking. Maybe we do that. Because I have a beer.
On this beautiful game, 100 episode, presented by Oktoberfest.
Oktoberfest. There's Oktoberfest. Let me pound the rest of this.
Prost.
All right, my friends. Let's pull out our next beer, which is going to be an Oktoberfest.
Was it yours, Blake?
Yes, this will be my beer. We could do a Ferris and I decided both do Oktoberfests. We both kind of did American beers, American Oktoberfest, but not quite. For the last few years, this company has done a collaboration, and they've all been good. One of my favorite Oktoberfest beers, which now that I think of it, I believe we did on the pod, is a German company called Weihenstephan, the oldest brewery in the world. Weihenstephan. Great Hefeweizen too, like the quintessential, like what you expect. So they partnered with one of our favorite American breweries.
Oh, this is the one you were telling me about.
So we get to do a direct comparison. So a German-American collaboration on the classic festival beer. Sierra Nevada has paired with Weihenstephan. Oh crap! I got to look at my pronunciation note again. Weihenstephan. With Bavaria's Weihenstephan, the world's oldest brewery, for this American take on a classic German Oktoberfest. A malt backbone is balanced by subtle hop characters in this crisp, clean, and drinkable crowd pleaser. Nothing captures the spirit of collaboration like a beer amongst friends. So I passed this over to you. This is their 2018 because every year they've done a different collaboration with a different German for the last few years. So this is the 2018 version. I recommend just buy every case you see because this is great. So kind of what's happened is they've taken the Weihenstephan's recipe, but they're making it with their American ingredients, or that were grown here, right? And that's kind of the pair they've done. So this ends up being super fresh. In some instances, it's almost more authentic in the sense that in Germany, your beer is going to be super fresh for these Oktoberfest, right? It'll be the same thing here because obviously this is made here in America. So this is very different. This is more of the Feist beer style. You notice it doesn't say, because you guys remember the Weihenstephan was not a Marzen, because you don't necessarily have to do a Marzen you can also do the Feist beer, which is more of that like grassy sort of smell on
the malt profile is way different. It's not as sweet.
But this has got the signature hops that Sierra Nevada uses as part of it. It's not hoppy like a IPA, but you'll definitely taste it. So I think this is gonna be a crowd pleaser, and I might have 6 more in my fridge. Just throwing it out there. Once you start with
these, to try this, man.
You don't want to stop. So you already see the color is more golden than amber.
Correct. Right.
It's still kind of like it's got a gold is the right term because it's not like a yellow Pilsner. It doesn't
not
have
a straw
that
color.
No, not at all.
I love the short nose bottle.
But this beer, man, I saw this. This was one that flew under my radar in the sense that I couldn't believe I hadn't heard about it because I love both breweries.
Right.
So when I saw this, my wife had actually sent me a picture saying, "Hey, this is the store deal." I'm like, "Yes, I'll buy them all."
Spare none.
So here it says completely different style, and it is flipping tasty. Cheers, gents.
Prost.
It's cool to try these back to back. Boom. Oh, good. That's good. That's so good.
Super smooth.
It's got that light sweet malt that, like you were talking about, like the more the Feist beers have.
Yeah, the Marzens are a little more the mouthfeel is a little more syrupy.
Yes.
Than this is.
That's a great way to put
sweeter.
it.
Yeah. Sweeter, stickier, like kind of.
Yeah, this is much more crisp.
Yeah, super crisp. This is freaking awesome. Oh, man. So good. So the 2018 Oktoberfest from Sierra Nevada, get on it. It is so freaking good.
While supplies last.
That'll be the last of our Oktoberfest, as Ron has a different thing doing once we get to Ron's for our third one for episode 100.
And it's a doozy.
And of course it's like when I did the Christmas one and I inadvertently did the 3 alcohol highest ones, like the next one was always higher. I didn't even mean to do that. So we're going to talk a little MLS.
I love it.
I know.
I hate that so
so
bad.
obnoxious, but it's just great.
It's in the American lexicon, isn't it? They'll add it to the new word for the dictionary this year. So first up, we got a couple matches we're going to specifically point out. Montreal Impact NYC FC visits Montreal and 1-1 draw.
It's we highlighted it because I tried to highlight a game in the East and the West that was very.
This is a big point for Montreal.
Yes, and it was very. Both of these games played into how the playoff picture is. Playoffs. How they're kind of lining up here as we get to the butt end of the MLS season. So
for Orlando, it certainly is a butt end.
Yeah. Oh, God. But anyways, for the Impact, gave up a really early own goal, which at home, not good. The defender,
and against NYCFC, you think it's over. They're
right.
going to, yeah.
And the defender, in fairness, really, there wasn't a whole lot he could do. It was kind of a slide to block it, but just poked it in there.
I just realized you still have these German headlines.
I added it for both. Yeah, absolutely. So to give up that own goal, they fired back and they pushed and they were able to get a lovely goal with a slight deflection, but to get it tied up, and they couldn't break through for the rest of the game. Now, is it points lost from Montreal? Yeah, it's 2 points lost. That helps out DC, but it's also a pretty big point gained.
Because it's 5 points now between them and DC.
Yep, it's 5 points, right? And that fourth or fifth point, the fourth point is more important than the fifth point, but it's still points, and it's still a positive, a semi-positive result. It's not dropping all 3 points.
But 1 point does keep DC United in the realm of possibility of getting into the playoffs.
Correct. The downside for Montreal, and their form hasn't been the best. They also have a -5 goal difference, where DC United has worked up to a 0 goal difference.
That's big.
That's huge.
You think?
And I don't know if a lot of people would have known that DC United's at a 0 goal difference was with how they played for the first half of the year.
Do you think Rooney will get DC United into the playoffs?
I've said it before. Yeah, I do. I do think.
Do you
I think
really think that?
I do. They have 2 games in hand.
How much do you believe?
Son of a.
As soon as he said that, I was like, "Oh, here we go again." This is a good bet.
This is a good bet. All right, so let me think it out loud here. Oh man,
we still got.
Why do I do this to myself?
We still got 3 of those.
No, I understand that the snapper heads, beers or whatever that crap is.
I mean,
so DC. All right, so. Okay, let me run down the table real quick. Atlanta, New York, NYCFC, Columbus Crew, Philadelphia Union, 1 through 5. That has not changed at all. Same order. Impact are still sitting at 6 on 30 games played, -5 on 40 points. DC United has only played 28.
That's true.
0 goal difference, 35 points. Those 2 games in hand, with what's going on right now, if they win those 2 games in hand, they're at 41 points.
He's
right? In theory.
thinking about it.
I'm thinking about it. You're right.
Their last match, they drew New York Red Bulls in an all-out.
Hold on.
In an all-out.
You can think
goal
about
fest.
it. You can think about
3-3.
We can come back to it. You can think about it.
Let me think about it.
I think you should do it.
Let me. Yeah, Mister. I haven't drank any of our bad yet. Let me sit over there and just poke the bears on all of it.
That's not true. I have had every single bad beer you've had. Hold on. I just stopped at 1. You had to have multiples, and so did Blake.
Right. But I don't even know if you had all of the beers that Blake and I sloshed through on that Christmas Day or Christmas. No, you stopped after like one of those. So you have not had all the bad beers.
Oh, yeah. When Ron had the Christmas.
That's not true. I had a sip of every single one of those.
True.
Did you have a sip of all of them?
It was the day we recorded after Ron had his Christmas cocktail night.
Yeah, he was hungover as hell, and Blake and I were sloshing through these beers that you brought that we were just like, oh.
Which, mind you, one of them was pork slap.
Yes. Yeah, that's what started it all.
Because we had pork slap, a dogfish beer that had scrapple in it.
And then the apricot beer.
Yeah.
That one wasn't half bad.
No, it was a rough day, though.
It was a rough day when we had. It was a rough day.
I think you should do it.
Come back to me here.
Okay. Well, I made you move ahead. What you got to do this? What's your Impact Montreal Impact NYFC Oktoberfest headline?
Do you want me to say it? Okay. Impact dropped points, but still hopes to. They're tinkling.
There's not even an ing in it.
All right.
They're trinkled.
They'll trinkled DC for the last playoff berth in the East. I told you I'm bad.
That was done superbly.
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 Yeah,
superbly.
Yeah. English is not my strong
They're
suit.
trinkled. What's that mean?
It means to tip.
Oh, like you tip your server at the
tip, right. So Impact are hoping to tip DC for that last playoff berth in the East, and that's kind of what we've been talking about.
The trinkling.
The trinkling.
That's a horror movie.
No, trinkling.
That's a horror movie.
Yeah, the trinkling.
Dun, dun, dun.
In a world.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going. So that leads us to.
So hold on, real quick. I'm sorry, Ron. Where you find that word, the picture associated with this is number 19th out of 8 or out of 20 some words that you should know going to Oktoberfest. The picture associated with it is this lovely lassie with her breasts hanging out in a very traditional. I don't know. It's like it's tripssavvy.com. There it is, and she's holding a beer and some cash, and that's what I'm not gonna lie. Kind of caught my eye there. But I had to got it in there somehow, and it's
he got the trinkling.
The trinkling.
The gift that keeps on
giving
the whole year
respect
through.
by paying a tip on each round. Payment will be expected as soon as your beers are delivered to have your cash ready. Typically, you should round up €1 or €2 when paying for drinks. And then it gives kind of an example of what the exchange rate is.
We've got to do an Oktoberfest.
However, while tipping more than 10% is not expected in Germany, tipping your server after the first round of beers at Oktoberfest can make sure you get served quickly thereafter.
Because there's a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's
like
tense.
I think of Mardi Gras and I'm like, I don't want to. This is too much. I don't want to deal with it. But I want to do Oktoberfest.
Yeah. It's also because they're not all complete drunken fools.
Well, I think you have to. No offense, but I think you got to avoid all the English tables and people with a ton of American. I think you should aim to hang out with Germans. You're probably going to do better because everybody else is like, we're going to run. You know what I mean? You'll probably do better to find the actual Bavarians that are hanging out and running around.
That would be amazing.
Boom. So then this moves us on, as Rob was saying, to LA Galaxy and the Sounders. That did not go well for Seattle at all.
Oh, nope. A very sleepy game for Seattle. LA pretty much walk away with this. And
Ibrahimovic gets 501.
Yeah. And I really think the morale of Seattle was pretty much sealed after the 9th minute. Zlatan Ibrahimovic slots home a penalty. Kamaro also scores in the 40th. And then Boateng, who's been a pretty good standout for LA on that wing.
Watching, as you said, the attitude of Seattle, we were just talking about Montreal and DC. Well, on the other side, it's a similar situation. Seattle is at 44 points in 6th place, just outside of playoffs. It's Galaxy with 41. I wouldn't take the bet right now that Seattle would stay 6th. I think the
Galaxy could slot into that playoff spot. They're only 3 points out, and I feel like LA is starting to click. I know that it's late in the season, but what this really bodes well for is if they keep most of this team next season, they're going to be much better.
And also, imagine they get into that 6th spot. Look at those teams above them. These are these are teams they can beat on any given day. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, the East has really got Atlanta and the Red Bulls are killing it. And it's hard for me to imagine, say a DC United did get in, that they'd actually get to those guys and win.
Yeah.
If you're in 6th place in the West, you're fine.
Yeah.
I think you got some teams that you can beat above you.
And by points, the Western Conference is not quite as good as the Eastern Conference. The top 2 teams in each or the top team in each conference. In the Eastern, it's Atlanta on 63 points. FC Dallas is the top of the Western Conference, 10 points lower at 53. So the East playoff series is going to be much more difficult, in my opinion, than the Western.
Which is kind of flopped from years past, right?
Yes.
Right? So the East, I think, has the Easter Conference, as I put in the notes, not Eastern.
The Eastern Conference?
The Easter Conference.
They're hunting for eggs.
The Peter Cottontail Conference here. They have some really good attacking power and free-flowing. They also have some very good defense in the East. The West, the defense hasn't quite been there. From Sporting KC and from FC Dallas and LAFC to a degree, yes, they've had the defense. But from there on down, Portland, usually known for their defense, not really this year. Seattle?
It's hard for me to imagine
not
any
really this year.
of the top 6 teams in the West beating Atlanta or New York Red Bulls in a final.
Sporting KC is the only one that I will tip to beat
over Dallas. I
right.
agree. Yeah.
That would be your most even match, I think. FC Dallas is just firing at the right time of the season. LAFC is too inconsistent.
To be fair, LAFC, they've been pretty solid all year from start
but just inconsistent, because then they're losing matches 4-0 that they shouldn't be losing.
Yeah, but it's kind of counterbalance there, because they still have a
team.
positive. They have a plus 14 first year. They have a game in hand comparatively to the rest of the year, and they're up there in the 50-point range, which they're not guaranteed for playoffs yet, but you know that's pretty darn close.
Really?
To being guaranteed.
I agree. They
playoffs.
just need to. Right now, they're just not. Their midfield is not playing all that consistent.
The goal differential is nuts.
Yeah.
Like FC Dallas at number 1 has an 11th goal differential. Sporting KC has 18 at 2 in the West. In the East, Atlanta has 29 goal differential.
Oh, you just reminded me of what we're sitting at.
New York Red Bulls has 23. I mean, that's like the third team has 13th. Now, what's in the East, that was NYCFC. Then it goes 1 goal differential to Columbus Crew, -2 to Philadelphia Union, -5 to Montreal Impact. And then it just gets terrible. DC United 0, England -2, -7, Toronto, Chicago Fire -11, and Orlando number 1 in the bottom at -26.
Negative.
Oh my God, that is
26.
Colorado Rapids,
Atlanta
the closest.
and New York. Oh my God, they have 23 and 29, and we're sitting on a -20. Oh my Lord.
And so I went to the.
Oh my Atlanta.
Oh, gross.
Atlanta.
Yeah, get it? Because Atlanta.
Yeah, we get it. Mm-hmm. Sure do.
That joke number 3.
That does not deserve a.
I thought it did. I thought it was,
God
it was stupid, but it was funnier than the one he read out earlier.
I went to the Orlando-Houston match yesterday, day before.
Saturday.
Saturday.
I'm sorry. I didn't understand. I think you said nap wrong.
Okay. I first thought that same thing, right? In fairness, though, to Orlando City, Houston Dynamo, although they're in 10th in the Western Conference, sitting on a +4, the only team in that bottom half on a positive goal difference there. So we're sitting on a -126. Not a bad point in all things considered.
I guess 0-0 is okay.
It just was
the Cleveland Browns.
It was a rough game. We just don't do anything. Dom Dwyer obviously doesn't
not score when he wants.
I think he just doesn't want to score. The service into the box wasn't that great. Our back line, I think Sane is the only bright spot in our back line. Sutter is doing okay, but I just don't think he connects with the rest of the back line or the midfield very much. The team just looks like everyone is playing their own game, and it's just, man, it just wasn't good. And you know what was really bad is the stands were empty.
Oh, it looked bad. Yeah.
Ferris
and I both were working that, right? Ferris, you working that night as well?
Yeah, but we actually were able to meet up at work at some point while running downtown. But yeah,
it was pretty empty. I was able to watch the supporters march in, and the supporters, normally they have that really long, parade of people, and it was a pretty short one.
Here's the thing, man. Fan forever. But it's just hard to get excited when things are as they are.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean, it's I'm gonna try to make it to the Seattle game. I think we have one more after that.
Hey, look, we play. Right now, the Cleveland Browns have a better record than the New England Patriots. So there's hope for us, guys. Let's remember that.
Yeah, it's called next season.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It just took Cleveland Browns 572 days to finally have a stat like that. So just let's give it a couple years. We'll be all right. We'll be all right.
It's rough. It's rough.
Ugh. That was not Der Tinkelin.
No, that was not. Going back to LA real quick, Ron, you had said if they the Galaxy, sorry,
mm-hmm.
if they're able to keep this team intact for next year, usually the Galaxy change over a bit because they bring in some sort of DP players.
Is Zlatan still on a year?
No, I thought he was on.
I thought he was 3.
Is he? Because the word is his hometown club is like coming after him.
Oh, in Sweden, where he started off. I thought he was on 3 year. I don't know why 3 years stands out to me. But anyways, if they're able to keep, obviously, Zlatan, Kamara in their midfield, which I don't think is terrible. You'd like to see somebody with a little bit more defensive soundness. But Sebastian Lletget and Jonathan Dos Santos sitting in there in the midfield, it's pretty good midfield. What they don't have anybody. They don't have a staple at the back. Where you look on the other side of LA, and they have Zimmerman, Walker Zimmerman at the back, which I think he had 2 goals in their game this past week. But he's been really solid for them this entire year. That's what the Galaxy need. They need that spine there because they have Bingham in goal, Zlatan obviously up front, Lletget, Santos in midfield, along with Alessandrini and Boateng. That's a pretty good midfield there. They don't have a real staple at the back. Ashley Cole's up there in age, and he plays off wide, so he's not really going to have that presence or that defensive mindset in the center of the field. If they're able to get that in the offseason, I think LA could return to the LA that everybody expects them to be.
I agree. Zlatan's contract ends at the end of the 2019 season.
So it's 2 years then.
That's a 2-year deal. Okay.
And your headline, because we didn't read that yet, the Schlager music plays as Zlatan Galaxy gain ground in the playoff hunt. So what does the Schlager music?
The Schlager music. It's basically the hit music. Until
that's so weird because Schlager means blade too, right?
Until 1800, the Tens are officially family friendly, and music is kept at a respectable decibel. However, bands take the stage sometime around noon and start cranking it up until they go full blast in the evening. This is usually a mix of traditional German brass favorites like oh Lord, I'm not gonna be able to pronounce this. Aaron Frost with hits like ABBA, I Will Survive, Highway to Hell, and bizarrely New York added in. So the hit music plays as Zlatan and Galaxy gain ground in the playoff hunt in the West.
I was trying to find how Schlager music literally translated because I was curious. Because German has those weird like phrases like sad like a pig or something. I don't know. Like,
right.
There's
Schadenfreude.
The Schadenfreude, but there's another one that's like something about bacon, eating bacon. I forget. There's some weird ones. But yes, but like the literal meaning is so great and describes exactly what it is. All right. So then I guess that moves us off of the MLS. We're about to head to NWSL, but we technically have a third beer, gents.
It's small. We'd have to split one. So
okay.
We got a minute.
Okay, good. So we're good. So
it's Kummerspeck. Grief bacon.
I knew this was Kummerspeck. It's the weight you gain when you're depressed. Kummerspeck, but it means grief bacon.
Yeah.
Because if you're upset, you start slicing up some bacon.
when you eat because you're sad, it's Kummerspeck.
Grief bacon. God, German language is just awesome.
I'm sure we're not pronouncing it correctly, but yeah, that's what it is.
This is weird with bacon. It's all I can remember. This moves over to the NWSL Championship, which was just held.
But before you talk about this
beer
is real nice.
Yeah. This Sierra Nevada and Weihenstephan. There we go. Weihenstephan. Great collaboration.
Lovely.
So the NWSL wraps up its season, and it was a pretty fantastic season.
Yeah, and a definitive championship win. North Carolina Courage against the Portland Thorns.
In Portland.
Woo! They put it to Portland.
Smoke
and
Portland.
Here's the thing. I watched highlights of this game. I recorded it but saw the score beforehand, so I just kind of caught highlights. North Carolina, in my opinion this year, was the best team we saw play here, at least. Portland was the second best team. What stood out differently and what Carolina did in this game is top to bottom in their entire lineup, they have talent, they have class, and they are super organized.
Yeah.
They are
cut above.
Cut above. They're very organized, and that's what overtook Portland. Portland's back line in this game looked ragged. They were pulled all over the place. Jess McDonald and Lynn Williams were pulling them all over the place. Dabinia in there. I mean, they were really, North Carolina were the better team all season, and they were by far the better team.
First time that we've had both the team that has scored the most points or had the highest point total, as well as win the championship in a while in NWSL's
and
run.
They finished the table
rematch of last year,
or is it ever? And since NWSL has existed, is the first team to get both?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
I don't know that one.
What's the NWSL's when you're the highest point total? It's not, it's Community Shield, whatever. For
I don't know if they have it.
I don't think they do.
I thought they did. You go on. I'll look that up.
Stand by.
I think that
the table ends up that the North Carolina Courage.
I don't know if I don't think they have a name.
Are 15 points higher than the second place. So North Carolina Courage at 57, Portland Thorns at 42, Seattle in third place at 41, Chicago Red Stars at 37. In fifth place, the Utah Royals at 35, Houston Dash at 32, Orlando Pride in seventh at 30. We kind of just nosedive the end of our season here in Orlando. Washington Spirit finish up at eighth at 11 points, and Sky Blue FC in 9 points in ninth place.
Let me interject on that note. But the Shield note, that was correct. It does exist.
Oh, does it?
The Courage hoisted their third trophy this season, claiming the NWSL Shield. That's the top point. And the ICC tournament title earlier this season, and then winning the NWSL Championship. So it's NWSL Shield is what that's called when you get the top.
Right, and it's Courage, as we say, it was a third. This is their first NWSL Championship as the Courage. Right. They were what were they? The
Flash,
the Flash,
New York Flash.
Beforehand. But I mean, they're a team from top to bottom between Jess McDonald, Lynn Williams, Crystal Dunn, Sam Mewis, Denise O'Sullivan, who had a fantastic game in this game, and it had a fantastic year. She couldn't even get into the Dash lineup a few years ago. Fantastic in this game. Dabinia, and then their back line, I think, is phenomenal. They have Merritt Mathis, Abby Dahlkemper, Abby Sarich, I hope I said that name right, Sarig, and then one of the best backs in the league, Jolene Hinkle. That is a solid team, top to bottom. Every player on that team is quality. Not to mention, they play organized and they play together. And they just broke down Portland, counterattacked very well, had two big, fast, technical center forward strikers up front that made them pay in this game. And yes, Portland had some injuries there. Haley Razzo was out during for injury. She would have made an impact in this game, but they still had Tobin in this game. They still had Christine St. Clair. They still had Haran, who was the NWSL MVP. They still had talent, but they were outplayed in this game by far. And North Carolina were the best team all year. Top of the table, as Ron was saying. They deserve this by far.
I agreed. They have a really smart way of breaking other teams down. They always start on the front foot, but you can watch the Courage put things together as the game goes on and exploit weaknesses.
They own the competition
way better than almost any team I've seen in terms of learning strategy as they're playing the match, instead of necessarily just playing. Like, you always hear teams say, we want to play our game. The Carolina Courage do that. But while they're doing that, they are learning so fast, finding holes, pulling the midfield apart, and making runs all over the defense. It's a treat to watch. Which means, if you haven't seen an NWSL game, you have got to go.
Do we get word yet if we're adding a club next year?
No,
there's still that word that LA might want one, but it's
we were talking about that last pod.
Yeah, it's still kind of rumor.
Kind of a cool stat though. The attendance for this match, and partly because it was in Portland, and they always have very, very good attendance. And Portland Thorns were playing championship in Portland, so that certainly helped. But the attendance was 21,144, largest attendance for a professional women's soccer match in the U.S.
Awesome.
So very cool stat there.
Yay.
And Jess McDonald, with her 2 goals in this game and led the entire league in assist, was named the championship MVP.
Well deserved.
Yeah, I thought Dabinia for them actually probably could have gotten a shout as the MVP in this game. I thought she had a really good game. I think she provided an assist and she had a goal as well. I think she had the first goal. But she was all over the place and really just caused havoc kind of as that center attacking midfielder there for the Thorns. But you definitely can't put anything past Jess McDonald, because she scored 2 very good goals, and her goals end up helping them win the championship.
So this brings us to our NWSL side of things. Of each season, we always pick for whatever all the leagues we follow some predictions. We didn't do that great.
We did okay.
We did okay
ish.
Yeah,
in the realm.
We
of
were
okay.
all way too home friendly.
Yeah, agreed.
But although
to be honest,
with the team that we had,
we were doing good until about 2/3 into the season, and then we know
we dropped some key points. We missed some penalty kicks,
especially at home.
We lost some key
a lot of points at home.
So our predictions. Are we ready to go to the next beer first? We do our predictions, or do the beer after predictions?
I would say we do beer first.
All right.
Well, you got a bit to
hit
drink
it, buddy.
there,
Don't you worry about me over here. Come
on.
I'm done.
Ziggy, ziggy, oi, oi, ziggy, ziggy, oi, oi, something. If you say yeah, go, German.
9.
All right. So mine is from one of my favorite breweries here in the U.S. We have had them on the pod before. Any guesses?
Bells.
Nope. Ferris.
Can you tell me the style?
It's a stout.
Sometimes that helps.
We have had them on the pod before?
We've had the brewery on the pod before.
Yeah. Local?
No.
Damn.
Yeah, Ron likes Bells. That's why I went there first.
Yeah.
Well, Dogfish?
Nope.
Elysian?
Nope. Time's up. Strike 3. You're out.
This is Moo Thunder, the Imperial version.
I'm punch you in the nuts.
How did you guys know? Could you imagine? That would be so great. That would be so great.
100th episode.
Oh,
the last episode.
Oh my God, this glass will be broken over your head.
That'd be the last episode.
Blake and Ferris end up in jail for murdering Ron live on the air.
Hey, made it. Just let me upload this first before you take us in.
It's good content. It's good content.
This is a Halloween themed beer. And there was a special on it, so I snagged it. I've actually never had it, but I've had my favorite Halloween beer, and it's by this group of people.
Shipyard.
Southern Tier?
Southern Tier.
Ooh.
Yep. So Southern Tier has Warlock Imperial Stout.
Oh, is this the one they make with the pumpkin chunks?
Yep.
Oh,
Ooh, I never heard of this one.
Yeah.
With pumpkin and notes of pumpkin spice. Warlock is brewed to enchant your palate on its own and it's also the counterpoint to the Imperial Ale Pumpkin.
That's my favorite. We were just talking to a friend about the other day about this, and he was saying the Warlock he loved. So I'm excited.
We're going to try that. Make your own black magic by carefully pouring this Imperial Stout into a goblet. Dark and mysterious, reanimate your senses with Warlock's huge roasted malt character. So this is going to be...
this is a huge departure from what we just had.
Way different. Moderate in carbonation and spiced with pumpkin pie aroma.
Oh.
It's an 8.6 ABV, and apparently you can't taste it. So it's pretty dangerous.
Dangerous there. That is what my friend said.
8.6?
He said it's so tasty, but it's really dangerous because you just don't taste the alcohol.
Oh, it's a single goblet here.
That's different logo, I feel like. They used to have like a different one.
Oh, I saw that today.
Oh, that's cool. Warlock, I'm excited. Y'all, for folks who don't know, I work in the world of Halloween, so I am all about some Halloween beers and such right now.
Put that anywhere.
You just leave that on the floor. Oh, man.
Pass your glasses
There we
over.
go. Ferris, pass me your glass. All right. Oh, man. So this is what, a 16-ounce bottle we're splitting here? This is like a full pint?
Yeah, it's a full pint. I'm just going to set them down. Keep going.
Yeah. You keep going. So these guys, if you've never, I can't speak, we'll try the Warlock. They're Pumpking.
Pumking. P-U-M-K-I-N-G.
Pumpking, their Imperial Pumpkin beer. This is the stout version, I guess, the Warlock. But their Pumpkin Ale is the best pumpkin beer I have ever had. It is so flipping good. World of Beer is one of the few places I've seen it on tap. If you want to try to get it over there during this season, I used to not like pumpkin beers because to me it was like a pumpkin spice latte in the sense of it's just syrup. It's like a syrup flavor that's added to it.
Right.
But these guys, Southern Tier, they don't do that. They brew with the real pumpkin meat.
That's crazy, man.
And in the case of Warlock, I think they also add the spices you would put into pumpkin pie.
Correct. Excited to try this.
And and so it's freaking delicious.
This will be my first taste of anything pumpkin this season.
You know
For
what,
me.
man? I think no. You know, I had a shipyard.
Oh.
We opened the Halloween show, and so we had a shipyard.
I was telling somebody,
Pumpkinhead, is that what they're called? Yeah, Pumpkinhead, yeah.
Back in the day when Cigars at City Walk was opened, they would do a big boy of Shipyard, put a little Goldschlagers in it.
Oh,
that was
interesting.
fantastic.
That'd have been super German.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
All right, gentlemen.
All right, so the Warlock.
Ooh, take a sniff.
Do we all know what a Warlock is? It's a male witch.
Nerd alert.
There you go. I learned.
I actually did not know that.
I've been listening to the podcast Lore. That is great. I know people know about it, but you should listen to it. And it's all about like the folk tale and mythology and like the histories of stuff. Oh man, got all the Warlock stuff is so good.
This smells a little bit of coffee notes, but a lot of graham cracker.
I smell the graham cracker. Oh man, it's really. I mean, you really smell real pumpkin in this.
Yeah,
because it's not overpowering. Man, this smells.
All right, gentlemen.
This is going to be so different. All right, cheers, gent. This is a porter,
Imperial Stout.
Stout. Okay. Oh, dude.
Wow.
That's like drinking a dessert.
Wow. And the finish gets a little smoky at the end.
Yeah, you're right.
A little
It
smoky
is like we just
right
ate
at the end.
a pumpkin pie with black coffee.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like it's like
Just
that's
black coffee, though.
Yeah, you're man, that's good.
Wow.
Holy cow. This is dangerous because at 8.6, you said? I don't taste that.
Nope.
I'd pound that whole pint, man.
Yeah.
I know I've said it before, but this would go pair awesome with the cigar as well.
Actually, this would. It's got that slight smoky flavor at the end.
Wow.
Woo. Damn.
I'm glad we waited for this one to be last because this is
phenomenal. And you know what? For those of us who grew up further north, other than Ferris, I just mean because
not me.
He's always had warm falls. This smells like fall and Halloween.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like the autumn in a glass.
Ooh,
that's a good choice, dude.
Yeah, that slight smokiness right at the very end, kind of on the back of your tongue, really sets off the sweetness on the very
to me,
tip.
it's what kicks the memory of like fall and the autumn, like that smell up north and like Pennsylvania stuff. You smell the people's parts of the fires going in the house.
And now that you say that, have a smell. You can smell a little bit of that smoky.
Yeah, it's there, man. You got like the stout with that coffee, definitely like a graham cracker crust.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a
great way. That's a great way of putting it. Yeah.
And I don't want to say that to imply that it is a sweet beer. It is not. It is just like, this is really, especially like what
you just said.
Did I?
Yes, you did.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Somebody said, and I don't know who it was. But I caught it. I caught it.
That was him.
Wow, that's so good. I didn't even notice to write down my own. I got to go back and bleep this out. That's how good this beer is.
This beer is good.
Because let me write ×3 down now. Damn it.
This is the 100th episode.
Okay. That was enough. Now I just wrote this ×4 on my notepad. I'm trying to make this so people can listen to this at work. But that's how good, because for those of you listening at home, I'm the keeper of the bleeps. Like I write down the notes of when
he's the keeper of the bleeps.
When the naughty words are said, and I didn't, which is why I don't tend to, because I know that I got to go in and edit it, and I didn't even notice. I said it. That's how good this beer is.
I didn't even know that you said it. I thought Ron said it, but then Ron caught it. We both caught it, but I thought you said it. That's why you caught it first. But
I'm the beer master. Are you the bleep keeper?
Are you the bleep keeper? Oh yeah, Ghostbusters reference. Love it. This beer is so good. It has derailed me completely.
It is very good.
It's a phenomenal beer.
You know what's weird? I know it's the Halloween vibe or whatever, but I'd also really dig on this at Christmas, like with the idea of the pumpkin pie and the like, or like maybe like a Thanksgiving or something. Like this is really good.
It's a good beer from September to February.
This, I imagine after Thanksgiving meal, you're stuffed.
Yeah,
you watch a little football. You get a little snifter of this guy.
You know what?
Oh yeah.
You know what? You have a bite of chocolate, and then you chase it with this guy.
Boom.
That'd be amazing.
I'm in heaven. That's a good 100th episode beer. So
on to the predictions.
Okay, so predictions. The beer's way better than how we did in the predictions. We did the 4 teams to make the playoffs. I picked Courage, Pride, Red Stars, and the Reign.
I picked the Courage, Pride, Thorns, and Reign.
I picked the Courage, Thorns, Pride, and the Spirit.
And the actual was North Carolina Courage, Portland Thorns, Seattle Reign, Chicago Red Star.
So I got 2. You guys each got 3.
Yep. Orlando Pride finished in 7th, and Washington Spirit finished in 8th.
Poor Pride.
Our golden boot. This is where Blake actually did all right. I picked Sam Kerr.
Nice choice.
I picked Rose Lavelle.
And I picked Crystal Dunn.
And the actual was Sam Kerr with 16 goals.
Crystal Dunn had 8. Our heroine of our TV show that
our noir detective,
right?
Rose Lavelle.
Rose Lavelle finishes the season with how many? No,
I believe she was injured for a vast majority of the year. So in fairness, it was. I think if she was
Sam Kerr,
she was playing for the who? Was she playing for the Spirit? No. Oh good Lord, I don't even remember now.
Sam Kerr had a heck of a season though.
See, well, again, a second, yeah. She was playing for the Spirit and only had 8 appearances from them all year and 0 goals. So yeah, she was injured and out for a long portion. But I thought with the Spirit, she would get some goals. She did not. But Sam Kerr, 16 goals, 2nd year in a row. How she was not one of the candidates in the FIFA Women's Player of the Year, which happened to go to our Marta, which is an awesome thing.
And I think I saw they had for FIFA Alex Morgan on one of the cover of the game boxes.
Yeah, they had to have a few of those covers. What's really cool is, as That's pretty cool. Sorry, Blake, tangent. But in the FIFA series, they started you can play as a single person and go throughout
a career
right.
mode. Yeah,
and it was Alex Hunter, and then he could go. Well, they now added a female hunter that you can go through the career of the female side of things.
Nice
in the game, which is very.
Is that on 18 or 19?
That's on the new one that comes out this Friday. If you
19
pre-ordered like I did,
well, so I'm one of those people because when it comes to video games, like I just things are busy, so I tend to like get a game on sale, hold on to it till I've actually got some time to play it. Then I like play the crap out of it and beat it relatively quickly in like a small window that I know I have free. So when it comes to the sports games, the EA, I tend to do every other year.
Yeah.
So I did not do 8. I have 17.
Do 19.
So I'm going to be getting 19.
Be fun. And it's going to be, you can take Kim to World Cup glory in the journey. So it's Kim Hunter. So there are 2s, and
that's cool.
It's kind of cool. I think I'm definitely.
I remember like the FIFA games though, like have such a. Sorry, I know we're really tangenting, but like I think like I remember when I really getting into soccer way much more was when we were playing Ron and I the World Cup Germany 2006. It was the 06 version because it was who's 06? It's before Africa, right? Germany then South Africa. So it was the World Cup in Germany. Only reason I remember this because like there were stadiums in like Berlin, Nuremberg.
I thought that was the South Africa game.
But 06, because Ron and I were roommates back in 06 here in Orlando, and you went out one day and you were like, I just bought an HD TV, this and that, and so and so.
Yeah, this actually happened. I called Blake and said, what size is our television? And he tells me, and I'm like, do we have a sound system? He's like, yeah, I think so. I was, okay. What version is our Xbox? This one? Okay.
And we were still in the old school. We didn't have the 360 yet.
Yeah, it was Xbox.
I don't even think the new one was out yet, was it?
The straight Xbox.
Yeah.
And I remember I was working on a film and I made the most money I had ever made in a single day on a movie set. And
that's what happened. Okay.
So I just went to Best Buy and I was like, I want one of those, one of those, one of those.
Xbox 360 came out November 22nd, 2005. So it was the 2006 World Cup.
Yeah.
And so that was definitely what you picked up.
That's fun.
And so I had taken like a backpacking trip in Scotland. So I would always play with Scotland. So it's the only time Scotland won the World Cup. But I know they don't do it anymore. Because now you can just download the World Cup version. But man, did we play the ever living crap out of that game.
Every
I love the
day for weeks.
And yeah, World Cup, where was it at? I'm just trying to see. It was in Germany, I do believe. Yep, Germany. What made Germany 2006 World Cup so good? Yeah, so that was that one. And then South Africa was 2010.
Yep.
But that was like really when like we shifted into, I would say, soccer mode really hard.
Yeah.
At that point.
It's funny because a friend of the pod, Phil, and I were talking about it, and he had given some advice to a coworker of ours whose son
Ron is trying to be quiet about it, but he's got to go pee because
he has to go take a piss.
Well, no, we got to be quiet because the door's open.
Hold on,
my daughter is asleep across the way.
That's true.
So be quiet.
I've been hearing her cough a lot.
If the thing is, if Ron wakes her up, my wife won't kill him. Yeah, she will kill me.
It's true.
It's true.
Okay, so
here we go.
So where Ron is going, and in keeping with the Oktoberfest, is Ron is.
Well, now we can talk normal because the door's shut.
Ron is going to the toilet.
Their toilet?
The toilet. Thank you. I'm so bad at this.
Yeah.
He's going to the toilet.
But no, I mean that.
Well, where I was going with it was sorry, Blake.
No, good.
Is he was saying if you want to learn the game, play FIFA.
Yeah, so
it's a wonderful way to really learn the game.
If we
learn tactics, to learn to learn players, to learn teams, to learn clubs, to learn jerseys, to learn everything about the game. It's a wonderful way.
If we've never talked about this, so for me, I grew up in America, so like American football. I was never a big baseball fan, but that's because I'm from North Carolina. We just didn't have a team,
right?
NBA didn't really get into it. Why? I'm from North Carolina. It's all about college basketball, right? Yep. Even though we had the Hornets at the time stuff. No, forget the Tar Heels. I was always a Duke fan. But I
was getting there.
But so not a lot of exposure to soccer. But my sister switched from playing basketball to soccer, and I can't remember which FIFA it was, but it was the old Xbox. And I literally said, "Well, I think I had just gotten into college. So it's like 98, 99, somewhere in there. And I was like, if I'm going to go see her play, I want to understand the game. So Similar I bought the FIFA of that year. I can't remember which FIFA it was, but I just remember that I always played with the Celtics, and Flogging Molly was one of the bands. And I love Flogging Molly. Was one of the bands that was on the overall soundtrack. Yeah. So they would frequently play and stuff. Even though Celtics is a Scottish team, not an Irish, and Flogging Molly is.
But they have a lot of Catholic Irish. Basing to the club.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I mean that was how I first got in. That was my intro was like, well, if I got to learn the game, I don't understand how offsides works, this, that, and so. Just play the game and then you learn. And that's again what makes the game so beautiful is its simplicity.
Yes, and it's funny you say that because I also learned the game from my sister as well, but in a different capacity. Growing up, I played basketball, I played football. Those are the sports that I played. My sister played soccer. She played club soccer. She was a very good goalie, and she played high school and club and all of that. But in club, we would always be at the fields. Because in club, you play a tournament every weekend or so during the season, so you're always there. And I was like, if I'm going to learn the game, if I'm going to be at the field, I'm not going to sit here and just watch it. Let me get paid for this. So I got my linesman and ref cert at the time when we went to a class, learned all of it. And we would go to tournaments in Boca and Fort Lauderdale and wherever else we'd go. And I'd check into the tent and say, hey, I'm a certified ref. I get 5 games. You can learn a lot from sitting there and just lining a game. You can learn offsides. You can learn tactics. You can learn formations. You can learn a lot about the game by the various ways that you can get into it by not just playing the game, by playing the game via video game, by watching it on TV,
So what happens when my daughter starts old enough to play soccer? Are we just going to be in the stands with some tifo that's 5 feet wide?
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm down with it.
That's ridiculous. Guys, this is for 5-year-olds.
Right.
Yeah, what?
And I'm there with the sign up next Sports Center.
What is in your coolers? High C, back off.
Yeah.
With a twist.
High C and orange, thank you.
It's the Ecto Cooler. Do you remember that High C? We talked about Ghostbusters earlier. So maybe think of that. Okay.
It's insane. We all learn the game different ways. FIFA, the game, is a very good way to learn the game. It teaches you a lot. I don't even know how we got to this point.
No. Well, no, we were just talking about reminiscing about how we got to it in the first place, playing the old the World Cup games, the old FIFA games and stuff. Because we were talking about how
that's right. Yeah.
They were adding so much more of the features from the women's game into
correct,
EA.
Correct.
So
9 degrees of separation.
No, this is great. I want to keep going. Ron is back.
That was a wall leaner.
That was a wall leaner
from the toilet.
Yeah. It was much deeper than I expected.
Hey-o. So real quick, we did Golden Boot. We were talking about that. So let's start with the MVP. I picked for NWSL MVP for the season, Crystal Dunn.
I picked Marta.
Christine Nairn.
And the winner was Lindsay Horan, Portland Thorns. And she had a great year.
By far. She's one of my favorite players. Not female players. One of my favorite players in general in sports to watch and play.
Through to the side. 13 goals, 2 assists, and 1,800 minutes of play.
She was the rock in Portland all year. She is awesome to watch play. She is so powerful. She's so strong on the ball. She's tactically sound. She is great to watch. She's the same way for our U.S. team, who will hopefully make the World Cup this coming summer. No doubt that they won't, or that she won't make the team, but she was the MVP of the entire league.
There are some new players, though, that have me excited in a new way for this World Cup. Like her, people that we haven't seen playing with the national team.
Yeah, she's been in the team, but she's going to have a more profound.
That's what I mean.
Yes,
not our folks from the last World Cup run. So right. I'm very excited about that.
Her career trajectory has been nothing but up in the recent years.
Oh, by the way,
I think she's at the perfect time to be going into this World Cup.
She's at a high.
Yeah, become a star through it. And that World Cup's in France, y'all. That ain't that far away. What are we doing next summer?
I mean,
I really
taking a short boat over to.
I mean, yes, I would. One that's sitting there. My wife and I have been playing. We need a big trip coming up, and France is something we've wanted to do. We're like, man, how cool would it be?
What are the dates?
It's in the summer. I don't know off the top of my head. It's June in there somewhere.
Because if it's June into July, I could probably do it before relocating to Beijing.
Even if it's just a matter of visiting, seeing only. I only get to see one. We only get to see one match, and go do other stuff in France. That'd be so cool.
Yeah,
especially because they support the women's game so well in France. I mean, there's
so many good teams.
France would probably be the favorite going into.
Absolutely.
I don't know. It depends on how the U.S. does going into it. Because
I think it's going to be neck and neck with France and the U.S. I just think being at home is where people will give them the edge. But,
sure.
Okay, so it runs. The first group matches start Friday, June 7th. And
around
semifinals, third place, and finals. The final is Sunday, July 7th.
That should be a lot of fun.
Right, 7 to 7. So that means I could ask for deployment to Beijing toward the middle of the month, still see a month's worth of matches, and then go.
I don't know.
Let's talk.
I think this would be cool. I know I've got a little one, but we've talked about earlier that we want to take vacations and actually get her used to traveling and go out and doing stuff. So yeah, I think that'd be a cool thing to do. Continue on with our NWSL predictions. Table winner, I picked Courage.
I picked the Courage as well.
Orlando Pride.
It turned out to be the North Carolina Courage.
Yeah,
we chose well. High five.
Yep.
High five.
Orlando Pride finishing 7th.
Yeah.
And the Courage, like we talked about earlier, by far the best team that I personally saw here in Orlando come through all year.
And this is where we're just idiots. Because
we are.
For the champions of the NWSL.
We're not idiots. Come on.
We're homers. That's what we are.
Pride. I picked Pride.
I picked the Pride.
And I picked the Pride.
And it was the North Carolina Courage.
But we were doing good until 2/3 into the season.
Pride didn't even make the damn playoffs. But nonetheless, a very fun NWSL season.
We fired a coach too.
We
had a conscious uncoupling.
Uncoupling. There you go. Was that Gwyneth Paltrow?
Yep.
Yeah.
In fairness, and I was talking to a co-worker of ours who has season tickets, Miss Vicky, and she brought up a very good point. She understands why there was a what was it, Ron?
Conscious uncoupling.
Thank you. The point was, and it made sense. Tom Sermanni really didn't keep the same lineup all year.
No.
He chipped and changed, and he moved players in and out all year. There was no real solid team.
He did a club version of what we call the dance move, the Jurgen Klopp. Oh, no, sorry, the Jurgen Klinsmann, not Klopp. Jurgen Klinsmann, because that was always the big complaint about Jurgen Klinsmann when he coached the U.S. men's team in those last couple of years. That's ridiculous. Was that pick a team and go with it. And Tom Sermanni kind of did the same thing.
But now going to what we were talking about the last pod, and we've talked about before.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
He did have a couple of injuries to deal with.
Sure.
And he had a lot of call-ups to deal with.
Yeah.
And he had a team that he probably didn't want. And I only say that because I don't know if you can really find a spot for Marta, Alex, and Sid LaRue to all play in the same team.
And start.
Correct.
I want them all there because it's awesome that they're here in Orlando. But yes, I agree.
That's a hard thing. You're putting 3 super talented players up top. And
Can I say this, though? I do think in his defense, I don't know how much longer we have Alex.
Yeah, but you had her for this year, and she really didn't have that good of years. And I also think the Steph Catley move last year was a big move. We had no backs.
Yeah.
Our center backs were there, but we had nobody on the outside to really push the lines there and push in between the boxes on the sides to get those balls in the box. Carson Pickett, just a good player, but just not up to it for me. And I just don't know if it was a team that he necessarily really put together.
Yeah, but you know what's great, though? In the end, even though we didn't get the playoffs, we were competitive, which was way more fun to enjoy than our men's team.
Well, we weren't dead last, yeah.
Yeah, we were competitive.
Yeah, and we do forget that we had a pretty solid team. Danny Weatherholt really
our midfield was solid.
Played well this year. Ali Krieger, I feel like she was injured for a few games.
Well, and that goes to my other point of the backs. When Steph Catley left, Allie, I love her, and she's such class, and she's a wonderful player, but she's lost a step. And playing off in a back position, or even in the center back, that's not the role that she's played in her career, and it's very tough to adapt. And when you're playing the North Carolina Courages of the world and the Portland Thorns of the world,
had we made it,
you're going to get outpaced, and you're going to get beat.
I think by far our better defender in the team this year for the Orlando Pride was Zadorsky.
Without question, yeah. I thought her and Monica were the best center back pairing that we had.
And we didn't keep that very often.
No, and you said it earlier. It was due to call-ups because Monica got called up a lot. Zadorsky got called up a lot. But that back's changed a lot, and the front changed a lot. The midfield was fairly consistent.
Can I say, though, as a season ticket holder, my favorite thing to watch, especially with the new seats that we got, we're the front row, like right on the pitch, on behind to the left of the goal, by the corner where the ladies enter and out of. I love to watch Marta fight for the ball, because the way our stadium is set up, that we are kind of almost eye level with the feet, and they're just like, it's so awesome to watch her fight constantly for that ball. And then the way when she's got the ball, how she carves everyone off of her. And
one of my favorite things is when she is on the offense, she takes the ball, the defender is kind of shoving into her, and she just stops and stands there. And then she just takes the ball right around people. But you've got to watch her do it. And now that I've seen it a lot, I see it when she plays when she plays for the national team much better. And but she does this thing where she relaxes, and it's almost like she's just standing there.
Because she has the fastest feet in the game.
But here's the thing. Old martial arts teachers and this guy, they'll talk this. It isn't about the speed of how quick you actually move. It is knowing how little you actually need to move to pull it. That's what makes a master, right? The master, to use the martial arts reference, doesn't like block the punch coming his way with all the speed and force. He just barely moves out of the way, right? That's her when you watch her play. She is so efficient. And now that we're talking about this, earlier we all met for tacos over at Tijuana Flats. And we were talking about Marta won the FIFA Female Player of the Year, going, well, but she didn't really have any championships or anything. But now I'm sitting there saying this. I'm like, yeah, Player of the Year. Sometimes it shouldn't be based on necessarily what your national team or your club's doing, but how are you playing? Yeah. She's just awesome to watch.
But it's also what she's done. That earlier this season, she put out an open letter to herself.
Oh, that thing. Which to her 10-year-old self or whatever it was.
Was that this year or last year?
It might have been. I don't think
it was last year.
It still freaking resonates. It's so good.
I dare you to read it and not get teary.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's wonderful.
Brilliant.
She by far, especially in our new seats. I don't know what it is. I've never had soccer seats where they're that low and you're just looking at the pitch like right in front of you. But you just see her, like you said, the way she peels people off of her or takes the ball from people. Man, it's magical. Magical Marta. Love watching her play.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
All right, gents. We're at the end here. And Ferris didn't. I just thought for sure he'd put something in his notes about this.
About what?
Or something that has to do with this. But I feel like episode 100. Right?
Yeah.
So I feel there should be like something asked.
Don't worry. No. My content notes are just kind of an outline of what we're talking about. We go off on tangents.
Yeah.
I knew at some point we would probably talk about what is your favorite moment out of the 100 episodes, or
that's a good one. Let's go ride with that right now. That's a good one.
Right. I knew that was going to be asked.
You brought it up. Did you say the S word?
Yes.
So hard when he says it over us talking. And then like I gotta go and bleep it.
Right. I mean, we've talked about all sorts of random tonight. So, which we usually do, and that's part of it. So the content is not there to give a strict itinerary.
Sure. But you brought it up. So what's your favorite moment? 100 episodes. What's your Ferris? Boom. On the spot. Come on now. I don't edit a ton of time out of these, so like.
Damn, 100 episodes.
I mean,
honestly, my mind goes back to Klopp knocking at the door and
the first
us sitting around one microphone and getting our own beers and just making it happen. Actually putting a random thought and idea that we were just texting about, talking about, putting it into play and going, let's record this. Let's try to inform the people. Let's try to teach them about beer, teach them about soccer, have fun, pretend, we want you, if you're listening to us in your car right now, or you're at home or wherever, we want you to feel like you're sitting around the table with us, just having a beer, talking about the game. That's how we started it. We sat around one mic talking about the game, having fun with it. Just a normal chat. There was no strict itinerary. Yeah, we had a couple things on scores, and here's who scored, and yada yada yada, and here's how they placed in the table.
That's just really to remember it,
right?
So
exactly.
We talked about, yeah.
That's, to me, I don't know. That sticks out a lot.
Yeah, I like that we have never cleaned up. The equipment has gotten better. We've gotten better at editing, gotten better software.
Yes.
We still got to get Ferris to...
And cheers to you for that.
Not have an $8 microphone stand.
This thing's still holding true, baby.
It's like the Kmart.
Don't you worry about me over here.
Blue light special over here. Yeah. I mean, there's certain things we've all, gotten better at and what have you. But I like that we've never cleaned up, that it's just a conversation. Look, there's pundits on ESPN and everything else that'll do all that stuff way better than we can do with stats and this and that and a whole team and stuff. This is the whole point of this, is just you hanging out, having a beer and freaking chatting, man.
So, Ron, what is your favorite moment out of 100 episodes?
I don't know that I have a favorite moment, but I have a favorite feeling. Getting all mushy and
ooga chaka, ooga chaka. I got a feeling. Deep inside. There you go. That's your theme song.
I really enjoy, because I have a certain wanderlust for travel and exploring beers and soccer in other countries. My favorite thing is to call in from some random country.
That's pretty awesome.
And talk about all the weird that I've just done, drinking beers in the Arctic Circle or in Roatan, Honduras, or I don't know, some other weird out of the way place, talking about what their soccer culture's like and what the local beer is about. That
I flip and love. One of my favorite things that ties into that is our listener,
Clark?
Who's still winning right now, last year's
Kim.
Premier League fantasy league. Kim, on that note of you traveling, that his thing that he'd love, because we said you win a jersey of your choice,
right,
was the Japanese national team, and you were in freaking Japan and able to get the Honda jersey in Japan.
Very cool.
Yeah.
An awesome freaking kit too.
got one for myself.
The Blue Samurai, that was freaking awesome. Like, that was such a nice, well, I don't know that we'll ever line that up so perfectly again. Unless, look, dude, if you win again, you're killing it right now in the fantasy league.
Yeah, pick something different and I'll go there.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I'm struggling right now.
I am. Me too. I was all excited because I thought I did okay this weekend. Then I'm like, no, I still dropped to 10th, whatever. And so, I'm doing bad.
I'm up to 8th now, but I'm struggling hardcore.
I would like to let you know.
Yeah, go ahead, Ron.
That
Ron's still, of the three of us, the top.
Yeah.
I'm doing probably the best out of all of us, solidly in 4th place, although Frank Anthony is a point lower than me, so I got to pick my up. But out of the three of us,
you are.
I am knocking your dicks in the dirt.
You are. I've had a crap. Who's first? Is still Kim?
Yeah.
I mean, knows what he's doing.
Yeah. You jerk.
Just killing it again.
And then Amanda Scott in second with Not in the Face FC.
Yeah, I love that. Last year she was Pork Slap FC.
She always has very good names.
She's got a great name every season. And then rounding out our top 3 is Josh Benz with Pogbust FC.
Also a good name. Also a good name.
Good name, but he's having a good year so far.
And then me in 4th.
Yeah, I got to change.
Suck it.
I'm in 10th.
I got to change my
Where's
team
Ferris?
name.
I'm in 10th.
I'm in 8th.
Yeah, he just moved up into 8th.
Oof.
I made a move this last go.
Over Matt.
I need to gamble soon on a wild card or something. or triple cap.
I'm going against what I did last year, so I gotta get back into that. I'm slowly creeping into it.
So I have one more thing.
Shoot.
To finish out our 100th episode.
Well, hold on.
What?
Blake hasn't given his moment yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you had.
Oh, no, I guess it's true. No, I just kind of tagged on to what
mine,
you guys.
No, he did. He went before me.
No, he went.
Didn't. I went.
All right, whatever.
He kind of tagged on.
All right, whatever.
See, now I should just let it roll because I'm a little bit of a lost thing, like favorite moment. I mean, I will say there are things that have killed me. I can still look at the picture of Ferris drinking the Moo Thunder, but putting the ice cream in it to try and make it better. And it looked like this weird seafoam, but brown.
Yeah.
And his face. And even I go back and listen to the episode and we're sitting there chatting in the back and you see him go, because it took him forever. See, unlike me, when I drank the Moo Thunder, it took him like an hour to drink that thing because of all the ice cream. That kills me. But if I have a moment, I'll give Ferris some props here. I'll go back just a little behind what Ferris said. So, working with Ferris one day, and we'd said this a couple times. We could just record. We all sit around and chat about soccer. We could just record what we say. And I'm sitting there back there at work, and then he just walks by me one day, drops his piece of paper. He's like we could just talk about like this, like if that was the content notes, and then walks into his office. And I'm like, at the time, I'm like the improv performer. Ron has that experience. I'm like, if the dude with the stutter is like, gents, let's effing get some equipment and start recording ourselves talking. Why aren't we doing this?
Yeah.
So literally Ferris hands me that sheet of paper. Because we had talked about it, I'd already done so much research into the beginnings of like what we would need for software, equipment and stuff. I'd already created a list in Amazon. I clicked on it, hit order. And I think that's what I told you guys, like, all right, guys, the last day of the Premier League, it was a week later. It's like, come to the house. We'll do pies. We'll watch the games. I got a microphone. We'll sit in the middle of this. We'll just see what happens. But because I'd done all the research, I knew how to publish the pod. Everything was done. The website, we just had to actually do it.
Right.
I could just start doing it. Like, I'll never forget that freaking content in my lap. Yeah. Like, why am I not doing it? Yes. Okay. Why aren't we doing this? Let's do this. Bam. Yeah, that's like my favorite moment.
I love it.
Yeah, it's been good. 100 episodes. It's been freaking fun.
All right, so
continuing to grow.
The last thing before we sign off for our 100th episode. Gross.
The look we just got was awesome. Okay,
you guys are ridiculous.
We're a serious podcast.
You have to pick one thing.
Okay.
One.
Uno.
Not a multiple or
not tres. Not cuatro. Uno.
Never till 3 shall you count, but to 1.
Your favorite beer of the podcast so far. Now I'm going to go through and pick a random few in the 96th.
But you said you got to pick one.
Yeah. But I'm just going to kind of refresh your memory of some of the beers we've had. Gotcha. Right? So in the 96th episode, a 1664 white from Kronenberg. Then in the 83rd, we had a Guinness Stout from Dublin, Ireland. In the 58th, we had Crooked Can's High Stepper. That was a little far. In the 37th episode, we had Einstock's Arctic Pale Ale, which was phenomenal.
Yeah, I love
Then in the 28th, we had Dog Tag Brewing's Legacy Lager.
Yeah.
The 23rd, Highland Brewing's King McAlpin Double IPA, another fine beer. In the 18th episode, Cigar City Brewing Marshall Zukov.
Oh, that was a good one.
Which was a phenomenal beer. The 14th episode, which I was in Scotland for, actually wasn't a beer. So it was Blake pulled out some Scotch whiskey.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That new Isla company, the real PD Scotch.
Yeah, the Islay. Then we
got to get a confirmation on that. I hear Scotch people say Isla. I heard Islay. We got to figure out which one it is.
Yeah.
Or if it just depends on where you're friggin' born in Scotland,
maybe. And I could be completely annihilating it. The 12th episode, we had a Dirty Blonde Ale from Persimmon Hollow right here in DeLand, Florida. The 11th episode, Harvest Brewing, Old Engine Oil.
Oh,
just got back from
Scott. It was dark as shit too, wasn't
We
it?
have had some good beer.
Yeah. In the 8th, we had a McKellar Simcoe Single Hop IPA, which was phenomenal. That was during the Euros and Copa America.
What a great run that was.
Yep.
I think that's might be when I really fell in love with doing this show. Like this is something I want to keep doing. Was that run of the Euros?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun because that was when Wales and Iceland were, and we going to beerless. We've had the Bell's Brewery Oktoberfest before, which I think we talked about earlier.
Oh, yeah. There we go. That's
the 33rd episode.
33rd
was the Boxing Day special and the end of the Euros. End of the soccer year roundup. We had 3 beers on that day. We had the St. Bernardus Christmas Ale, the Guten Carlos, which was a brilliant beer, and then the Scaldus Noel.
All Belgian. We went all Belgian that episode.
Yep. So we've had some pretty phenomenal beers. Over 100 episodes.
Oh, and right before that, 32 was another Southern Tier. I forgot a gift. Yep. It was the Krampus Imperial's Helles Lager.
Currently, according to the beer blog, we've had 117 different beers on the podcast so far. I haven't updated it for the last 3 episodes, but that would make it... today we had 3.
1, 2, and then 3, so 5 total.
So we've had 5 total, and that brings it up to 122 beers that we've had on the podcast so far.
Wow.
Well, the best name that's ever been is still I don't know, either Neck Throat Punch and Bubba.
What was Bubba Extreme?
The Bubba Extreme.
Yeah, we didn't actually have those
the beers, but they're the best names that ever crossed. Man, this is a really tough thing for me because whenever I think about beers, and this is my motto for getting people who are new to trying different beers, and like right now I'm feeling I'm coaching a friend right now who was just Miller Lite at this point, but now they're trying some other stuff. It's so dependent on like your mood or what you want for someone that's had like a ton of different varieties, right? Like right now I could just drink all Oktoberfest for a month and a half and I'm just happy. But my favorite beer that we've had on here,
and we've had beers from Portland, Maine.
We've had some weird stuff too. Your weird 12% malt beverage thing from Germany, whatever that was called. Like,
Boonville, California. We've had San Francisco, Suffolk, UK, Watteau, Belgium, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, Spencer, Massachusetts, Boonville, California,
Maryland,
Tampa Bay, Decorah, Idaho, Bel Air, Maryland, Scotland, St. Pete, Tadcaster, United Kingdom. We've had beers from all over the world in 100 episodes.
Yeah, we really have. And what's crazy, we've also, despite that variety, we've hit Florida, obviously, because we live here as well, too, covering a ton of the state.
Which I'll actually start there. If you,
all right, go ahead. Yeah.
So there was a beer that we had on a while ago. I think maybe I brought it. I don't remember. But it is turned into one of my favorite beers, and I actually have some in my fridge right now, and something that it's still available and I love. But it was the Ashley Gang Imperial IPA with a really cool artwork on front, but it was Imperial IPA. I wasn't the biggest IPA fan going into this pod, but this beer is phenomenal. I love it so much. It gets a 4.02 rating on Beer Advocate. Just a wonderful Imperial IPA, and is awesome. It's from Big Top Brewing Company, obviously in Florida. So
that one was a good one.
That is probably my favorite beer that we've had on the pod.
Oh, it's hard to say one.
And that's sitting at a 9.8% alcohol by volume too. So that's good, healthy.
Okay. Here's mine. Here we go.
He's looking for it on the list.
No, I'm staring at it. I'm staring at it. Here we go. Here's the thing. I was trying to get to the date this was actually on, which I don't see right now. Episode 42. Buttered Up Beers, Moo Thunder.
off. You sandbagging son of a bitch.
And here's why I say it. There has never been a brewery to bring more entertainment to this show.
That's true.
Than Butternut Brewing.
That's true.
It might even be the moment that I realized, especially when the bet came shortly after, that this show was one of the most fun things I've ever done. So there you go.
Wow. Butternuts?
Yeah, one that you did not expect.
No.
I didn't say it was. I said best for the show.
True.
It's not the best one I've had. That's Vesterleven. Vesterleven.
The Westverleastern.
Westverleastern. Thank you.
Yeah.
You can never
How
say.
did I get that right? Hold on. Reverse the Poolishness bus up a little bit here. How did I get that right?
The Westverleastern. There you go.
Yeah.
So that's mine. Exactly.
The Westverleastern. Yeah.
Exactly on the 50th episode, which was
that's crazy. Yeah.
Premier League
on the 50th,
Match Day 34 last year.
Wow.
MLS Week 8, NWSL Week 2, and El Clasico on that during that week. The Belgian Quad, Westverleastern.
Wow, yeah.
The 50th episode. The best.
And that won your beer bracket for the World Cup, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah.
And that was actually smuggled into into us by a listener friend of ours who was on a whirlwind tour of Europe, and she dropped us a bottle of that so she could see what we thought about it. And not only is it widely regarded as one of the best beers on the planet, it is the hardest beer on the planet to get a hold of.
On that note, I'll put an asterisk with mine. A similar thing, but an American beer would be, we tried the Worldwide Stout from Dogfish Head that I had aged since 2009.
Oh, yeah.
And the year that we discovered that particular year, it was rated higher than several other years. And it was like a peak time to try it. Right. That was also a very good one. But still, for quality of the show, Butternuts has added a lot. You guys keep thinking we're never going to try their fourth beer, but it's going to happen.
Damn it.
No, we're not. We've done this three-strike rule. It's done.
There'll be going to be a bet made at some point.
Another phenomenal beer that we tried from Spencer Brewery. You guys remember that one? It is the only American Trappist ale.
Oh, yeah. That was so cool because I didn't know that existed in Boston or Mass. But
Samsonite.
Somewhere up north. Somewhere
way off.
Yeah, they actually are the only rated with which Trappist just means that, like, you're made a certain way. Also, none of your proceeds or profits they all go to the church. They all get, like, it's very specific to be Trappist. They're all in Belgium, one or two in France, and then this one. It's not many.
St. Joseph's Abbey.
Yeah. It seemed, I want to say Boston or like around that area. But
St. Joe's,
Massachusetts. Massachusetts. Okay. Massachusetts. If you guys, you look up the band Ilvis, YLVIS. They're the guys that did What Did the Fox Say? They do all these funny videos. They've got one on
oh, that's right. Yes,
Massachusetts, like a travel video. I don't know.
Massachusetts.
MAOSSOSSSHGHA.
That's way too many K's.
No, it's been freaking fun. 100 freaking episodes. It's been a blast.
More to come.
Yep. More to come. We ain't done yet, man. All right, gentlemen. So I guess I should say 100, and I keep forgetting this, but follow us on Twitter, Brutiful Game. Follow us on Untapped. Find us on Facebook. The easiest thing to do is go to our website, thebrutifulgame.com. You can listen to all our episodes from there, as well as links that'll take you to Apple Podcast or Stitcher, Google, however you listen to us. Leave a review or rating. If you do, send us a screenshot. We'll get you like a koozie or some magnets in the mail.
Clark, your stuff went out today again.
Oh, did you send it back out?
Sent out today.
Okay, awesome. Cool. So Clark, I will drop him an email, let him know it's back on the way.
And we would not have gotten to anywhere near 100 without everybody out there that listens.
We didn't know
on social media. Thank you all so very much.
We didn't know if anyone would pay attention. So when the first people started saying they actually listened, and we just got one recently that was like out of nowhere, just a tweet that was like, just start listening to the Beautiful Game. Great. Yeah. I'm loving it. Like, I was like, oh, awesome. Just random, so that's awesome.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you all very, very, very much.
And it's cool that we have a fan base that if they're coming to Florida, they're like, hey, let's go have a beer.
We'll absolutely.
Or some of us have been like, when I'm traveling, they're like, hey, if you're in my neck of the woods, come up. I haven't been able to make it work in the schedule, but man, it's so great to have followers all over the place.
Yeah, Matt came and visited us while I still lived in Atlanta before. Now he lives in Portland.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, it's awesome.
We got
a
scarf sitting over here somewhere, don't we?
Yeah, we
right
got
there.
a Portland scarf sitting right over here from section 107. Yeah.
Very cool.
All right, gents, to 100 more. Prost.
Galanta.
Love the beer. Cherish the game. The beautiful game.
You serious, Clark?
Well, I'm very serious.